Welcome back to Six Ashes for a more awake episode 17 with me, MrSealyp. Where are we at right now? Well, as you've already seen, I was doing some logging and stump grinding. I released an attacher for the front loader to use the stump grinder from the skid steer loaders, so it's an adapter between the front loader and skid steer loader. So we've got that. I've been going around doing the stumps as I've been cutting down the trees, and I worked quite late into the night. We are on day 6, late autumn, so we're going to be heading into winter. Now, a couple of things are going to happen in this episode. One, I'm going to look at the devastation I caused overnight, because it's that weird thing that once you're in the darkness, you're in that bubble of just where your headlights and on work lights will shine, and you kind of lose a track and a feel for where you are and what you've cut. Well, this is the track that leads out towards the sawmill and up to the allotment. I have sorted out the animals, they're all fed and watered. It's been pouring me rain since yesterday evening, it just hasn't stopped, so I'm kind of working on that now. As you can see, I cleared all the way down here, and isn't it funny? From my previous episode, when I had that insomnia moment and I was recording about 4:30 in the morning, I think it was, and watching it back and editing it, I really wasn't with it at all, was I? The piles and the logging has been so much easier while I've been more awake and lucid. It's really surprising how much of a difference it makes when you actually get a bit of sleep, which is wonderful. Now, more prep work is going to be happening today because, again, we're late autumn. There are a few cultivating jobs. It's still showing loads of baling jobs. But I can't really do anything else. I've sorted the animals out. So I'm prepping wood chip stuff. We've cut down the trees. That was the first thing. What I'm going to do now, today, is I'm going to build a wood chip storage building. I'm going to go and grab the wood chipper, and we're going to start honking trees through the wood chipper, and we're going to start storing them. So again, prepping the logs like this gets us a little bit ahead of ourselves. If I can prep wood chips now and store them, I'm not then wood chipping and selling as I go. I've got a load on hand. So what I can then do is, it just allows me a little bit more time and a little bit more space. Now I carried on logging right the way out to here. I haven't done all these ones here yet. I think I might leave some in the corner. I know it's a kind of really why would you bother kind of thing, but I might leave a few in the corner here. But I was looking for a flat bit of land where I could put in a building for wood chip storage, and that is proving a little bit harder across here than I thought it would be. I was thinking maybe if I just hop the fence, maybe putting it in here on the end of this field, but then I thought no, because I'm wasting field space. I don't want to really do that. I want to put it on a bit of land I own. Now this does mean if I do put it where I'm intending to, I then won't be able to sell this big plot of land again, because I did say I didn't know if I would log it, and I didn't know, but I'm going to keep it because I know we're going to make money. We'll be absolutely fine. So what we're going to do is put it here, which is fairly flat. I've brought over this, go with it. So we're going to do a little bit of adjustment. We're going to dig a few bits out, level a few bits off. The other thing I was looking at doing, and I have been kind of doing as I've been going along, because it made it easier for finding the tree stumps, is digging these out. And when I say digging these out, these bushes that sometimes you get a tree stump under them or near them and you can't quite see them, is doing a bit of landscaping, if you know what I mean. So if we do a bit of landscaping, in so much as, if I go across to that, start landscaping, get right the way down on that, and then what I was doing was switching to that one there, and as small as you can get that, then just bump. So you're kind of just replacing it. So in essence, in my mind, what we're doing is we're digging it out. You know, we're digging out the bush, putting a bit of grass on top, or digging it out and just the grass is there, you know. But it just helps to be able to then see where some of the stumps are when we're digging them out. And again, it's kind of, I guess, part of what you might do, not necessarily, but it's what I'm doing. So, you know, regardless of whether it's what is done or what is, you know, considered okay to do, I am doing it. So there we go. So yeah, I've been kind of going on doing that, taking some of those out. So what I'm going to do is, you've seen me use this wood chip storage before. I think I used it on Holmerkra. It's 350,000 litre capacity and only costs 15 grand. Now it may cost me a little bit more than that, because once I've done a bit of digging and a bit of levelling here and there, and then put it down, it might be, I'm thinking probably around 16 maybe. I'm going to try and get it as low as I possibly can, but I'm going to try and put it on here. And then we'll go and get the wood chipper, and we'll start putting stuff through the wood chipper. Now I'm thinking as well of maybe getting the log grapple that goes with the excavator, the 902. I might use this, I might use the grapple. The grapple with the excavator doesn't have a, I don't think it has a strap on it. That's why I really love that mill loader, because that just, I can pick up a pile of those like in one go. And if I could dump those straight onto the wood chipper, it would make life so much easier. So I'm going to have the building sorted. I'm going to put the wood chipper, so the actual pipe from the wood chipper goes into the storage building. Then I'll put the logs on it, and we will be chipping directly into storage to start off with. We'll work through our piles, see how far we get until we fill the storage, and that's what I'm doing. That's the plan for today, or at least this episode. So yeah, we'll crack on. I'll see you in a bit. We'll get this built. Obviously the levelling thing, doing it this way, you can't actually dig the ground, can you? But for the sake of the fact that it's what we would be doing, because as you can see we've got a few rises here, Be digging a bit of dirt from there, putting the dirt from the raised areas into the low areas and flatten this out a little bit. So I'll see you in a bit. What I'll probably do is go and sort out the wood chipper, bring that back, and in the time it's taken to do all of that, maybe we'll have the wood chip storage built. Heading to the store to grab the wood chipper. Now I have, over various different farms and areas I've worked, used loads of the different wood chippers available. This one I think I used when I was working at Greenwich Valley. It's, I say fairly new, I suppose, of all the wood chippers we've got. It's the newest one we've had, but it's not new anymore, I guess. And I think it's going to work really well for what we want to do, because we want to be dumping piles of logs on, or loads of logs. So rather than chopping them up into small chunks onto a wood chipper, which is generally what I do. Now let's just jump in there. So we go to the store. Again, I don't have to go to the store menu, but we will. So if I go across and we look at forestry equipment. Now these ones I've used a lot, and I've used various different ones of these. The Gens BA725D, and there's a couple of modded ones knocking about now as well. That one I love. It's a really great piece of kit. When I do that one, generally speaking, I will cut directly onto that, and I set my whatever cutter I'm using at 1 metre, and just continue to hit 1 metre chunks onto that, and it works brilliantly. You can put full logs on it, whole trees, you can put longer lengths, all sorts of stuff. You can, but that's just the way I've always done it with that one. The one I'm going for, though, is the Trex 900. That's a black sheep modding one. The building we're having built at the moment is by an engineering company called Top Ace 888. So they're going to be coming in and doing the wood chip storage for us. So we're going to get that for the time being. Again, just leasing it, but we do need to get an IT runner as well. So we're going to lease both just to get it there and get it in place. Don't know if I want to change the main colour or just leave it as it is. Well, you'll see in a minute. When I collect it, we'll decide. Right, I went for it in pretty much standard configuration, although I have got these side sort of side skirts on it, because I'm going to put logs on there. Hopefully, if any are near the edge, they should roll onto the belt. So we've got that, and we've got the IT runner 2633 HD. I think that's the one I went for, the triple axle, because it'll work better with this. So we're going to hook that up, we're going to get that back. While I'm doing that, I've got a few shout outs I want to do actually. I don't do them very often, but these I haven't done for quite a while, and these people, I've always said before, I don't just do shout outs when people just say, oh, can I have a shout out? Generally speaking, I'll do a shout out if somebody has helped me with something specific, something I didn't already know, something that's really helped me out, or for this particular reason. These people I want to thank for their generosity and their continued support of the channel and myself. Not saying that people aren't supporting me and don't support me, they do, but these people know why. So a big thank you to Chuck, John, David, Tony, Stephen, Faris, Jan, I think it's Jan or Yana, another David, Jason, Chris, Christopher, Scott and Willem. I think there's Jan as well. Why is that not? There we go. So yes, thank you to all of you for your support and or continued support of the channel and myself. It is very much appreciated, so thank you very much to you guys. I kind of wait till they've built up a little bit, and sometimes it's because I forget. I get into the video and start thinking, oh, I mustn't forget to mention so and so and so and so, and I get caught up in what I'm doing, and it just completely goes out my head. Right, let's put some lights on, let's get some beacons on. Yeah, pulling out in front of the mixer. Great idea. This is a heavy old bit of kit, but it's going to work absolutely perfectly for what I need to do. Actually, it's quite wide, isn't it? I think I would have had trouble getting this down past the pub. Now, I don't know as we get into winter whether or not we're going to have any snow. Mrs. Holland at the post office has already asked if we do, would I be able to help out clearing the snow around the post office so people can still get to the post office and send things. And you know, they've got a little shop there as well, and you can buy a few little groceries and things like that, so for the local people to be able to access it. So of course I said no problem at all. So if we do get snow, there may be a bit of snow clearing I'm going to need to do. I don't know if anyone else will contact me and ask me to do any, but obviously I'll be doing some around the pig farm and probably up around the sheep as well. Wow, this is slowing down, isn't it? I thought this would be no problem at all pulling this, but alright, 13's about where we're going to sit, I think. That's alright, I was sort of worried this was going to slow down and slow down and slow down. No, the only problem with having my hazard lights on my side panel is that when I want to indicate, people don't know where I'm going, so that's better. Let them know we are going to be indicating to turn. Well, no, we are going to be turning in a moment. The colours are shifting constantly as we move through autumn towards winter. The bushes now are looking a lot more bare. We will get to that point as well where the grass will stop growing, and but it's all good. Right, let's get those back on. Not necessarily need them on. Got a few fields that are withered. I am very conscious, and I said this right from early on, the more fields you prep and cultivate for local farmers, the more of those contracts then that follow on become available, like fertilising and sowing and seeding and planting, whichever piece of machinery or whatever it is they want put into the ground. If you leave them all, they will sit saying they need cultivating, and I've got quite a few that are saying that. So what I might need to do at some point is just bite the bullet. I might wait till just after when we get into spring, early spring, as long as the ground's not frozen. If we've made enough money over the winter, buying a larger horsepower tractor and maybe getting a slightly larger cultivator, and then really knock out a load of those fields on cultivating so that the contracts will become more readily available. Now, I'm going to get down here all right. Actually, what I should do as well, let me just double check. Animals. Where's the cleanliness? I've done that. Okay. Is weather. What we're looking at today. By midday it should stop, but then 3 o'clock it's going to start again. Then by 6 it should go off. Then 9 o'clock. Wow. Tomorrow is showing snow. Oh no, seriously. Okay. 0 degrees, -1. Blimey. Okay, that's going to change really rapidly. The price of wood chip has sat about 1.3 at the moment. Well, you can really see from here now, can't you? See, the pile's got a lot neater the more awake I was. Oh dear. Thank you to everyone's advice. I know a lot of people were offering me advice on how I should be logging and stuff. I have done my fair share of logging across various different farms, various different let's plays, various different areas. I've done a fair bit. I was getting a bit of a reputation at one point of my deforestation, and I think I am definitely going to do poplars. I'm going to put poplars in the ground probably spring. They might take a year to grow, but again that's looking forward as a plan, you know. So what we'll do, if I switch to that, open that up, pipe out, turn those off, that off, now put it down. Pipe is over the point there, which is absolutely perfect. I'll probably go back a little bit actually. Actually, that'll probably do. Disconnect that. Move that out of the way for the moment. Right. Now with everything open, it'll be a case of turning that on. So this is the building. Sorry, yeah, I meant to say. This is the building. 15 grand. Which is absolutely amazing. 350,000 litre capacity. Top Ace 888. Do supply these for potatoes, sugar beet or wood chip. I think I had a couple of these on Homokra, and I did do a load of wood chipping as a kind of something to do, but the wood chip didn't pay out that much, and again that's why here in Six Ashes, in the Six Ashes Valley, it's more relevant because of what wood chips are worth. So this isn't just a case of, oh, let's do it for the sake of doing wood chips because I haven't done wood chips this time. This is, you know, more relevant. There's a light switch here. We can park some vehicles under here, which might stick a couple of bits under here. I'm not too sure. So I guess the thing to do now is going to be, I might try with the tractor first, and then might grab the actual front loader, grab the Kramer. But I've got the front loader and I can put the grab on it. If I find that's taking too long, maybe what I might then do is grab the. There is a grapple for this under tools, under miscellaneous. This is the store brochure. We do have, yeah, we've got a couple of brush and log forks. They're not massive, so I'm just thinking the log fork I've already got might be a little bit better to use, but again, we'll see. So let's grab the front loader. We'll switch over and put the log fork on, and we'll stick a load of logs in through the wood chipper. We might as well, like I say, this is all prep. As the price starts to go up again, then I haven't got, it's not that, I'm trying to be proactive, not reactive. So I don't want that reaction of, oh, the price is going up, quick, go and do a load of wood chips. I can say, right, the price is going up, I've got a load of wood chips in storage, let's go and sell a load, you know. Am I going to buy one of those wood chippers? Probably not. And I think as well, looking forward, because of what I can make selling wood chips, I don't mind leasing some of this stuff, you know. I'm at that point again where total mixed ration and wood chips are going to be the money maker. The farming side of it is because I want to do farming. It depends again, you might be in an area where the farming side of things is going to be making you most money. It might be another particular product is making you a load of money. But for me, in this situation, this is what's going to be making my money to allow me to do the farming aspect of things, which is where my kind of focus wants to be. This is just how I'm going to make my money doing it. Right, so what I need to do is turn that on. Right, engine's on. We'll put the lights on because it seems a bit dark. Switch that on. Got a little bit of rock on that, but that's not too much of a problem. And let's get some logs through it, shall we? Now, I may need the rear weight on this. I'm just thinking if I grab a couple of logs. Like so. Yep. Isn't it weird? The front loader seems to work perfectly doing it. If I try and lift those, that's not going to work, no, is it? Oh. Okay, right. What I'll do is disconnect that. We'll try with the front. The front loader might do exactly the same thing. If not, I'll just go and grab the weight for this. There's probably another reason for looking at a telehandler, but. Right, where did I put it? Oh yeah, I was saying about this. Yeah, so I've got the that's a skid steer loader, stump grinder, but then I've got an adapter between, so that takes it from front loader to skid steer loader. So, and that's manufactured by CSZ. I think that's just a standard one. I think. So if I just disconnect both. Yeah, I mean this might struggle as well, but. I can put a weight on either, it doesn't matter. I suppose this is a little bit more manoeuvrable than the tractor. Again, it's another reason why it's sort of more handy for doing certain jobs, because whilst the tractor has got a bit of heft to it, this has got a bit more manoeuvrability. What's the word I was trying to say? That was terribly lined up, wasn't it? But again, I've only got so many hours in the day, so I need to get as much... Woo, yep, okay. Rear weight needed. Bear with me, I'll go and get it. I may have just done something rash. I know I said I was going to wait, but I went down with the Kramer to pick up the rear weight. Now the rear weight was a heavy weight anyway, but it would need to be to counterbalance. But the problem I had with it, and all had right from the start, was every time I put the heavy weight on the back of the Kramer, it couldn't, unless you had something heavy on the front already, it would tip backwards. The Kramer's a lovely bit of kit, and I wanted to keep it, but in all honesty, I think with what I'm going to be doing moving forward, with doing more bales next year and doing more bale work and doing, you know, total mixed ration work and doing wood chipping and lumber work, I needed a telehandler. A lot of people have been saying to me, why don't you get a MERLOT? Get the MERLOT. Because it's incredibly versatile. in so much as because it's the Turbo Farmer, it has a 3-point link on the back, not a crated one, not one that you put on yourself. It's designed to have one on it, because it's designed to be a farm machine in so much as you can use it as a tractor. You know, these are often used with the front loader or the telescopic boom on the front. You can also have a 3-point link adapter on that, but with a 3-point link on the back, these are used for ploughing and seeding and various other different things on certain farms. So it does have a PTO, it does have a trailer hitch, it makes it incredibly useful and versatile. I'm doing what I usually do, and I'm justifying my purchase. With selling the Kramer, this then only ended up costing me about 30 grand, because I got about 67 for the Kramer and this was 96. So yeah, about 30 grand realistically when you do the exchange. What I'm going to do, which is annoying because I just suddenly realised I had the bundle, I could have got an adapter for the telehandler, which took me telehandler to front loader tool, and I might still get one because let's open it up, slot logs out. Yeah, I might still get one because I've got mainly front loader tools, but what I might do is just invest in some new telehandler tools. That might be the better way of going about it. So let's turn that off, that off, that off. And let's see if this works a bit. I mean, it should work a bit better. It should work a lot better. Turn the beacon off. Let's open that up. If I go and get the rear weight to put on the back of this, it won't tip up. So that's the other thing. If I do find it is still a little bit... Oh, actually what I need to do is change that. That to all-wheel steer. There we go. That's better. Back to that. Let's close that. That's better. Yeah. It had to be done, didn't it? Let's be honest. Now these may need a bit of a shove. I know when I used them, used this on Greenwich. Mind you, I was putting much longer logs onto it, I think, but there we go, we're already wood chipping. Let's open that up. And away we go. That's brilliant. Whole piles on at a time. In go our wood chips into storage. We are wood chipping. So again, preparation. Prior planning prevents something poor performance. Oh, saying that, avoiding saying that particular word, we may have got to the bottom of the problem I encountered with the profanity. It would appear, and thank you to everybody who went on, rewatched the mod review, all the people that commented to say what they thought could possibly be the issue. I think what it comes down to, because a lot of people watched it with the subtitles, let's do that, with the subtitle thing on, one word got not bleeped out, but on the subtitles was omitted, and it's the name of one of the manufacturers, a certain manufacturing company with the letter K. I'm not going to say it again. Weirdly, I've used that word so many times in so many mod reviews whenever I've used bits of equipment by this particular manufacturer, but it would appear that saying that word made it believe I think I was being racist, which again makes me believe there was no manual review done, because if there was, if you were manually reviewing and you were looking at it and saying, well, hang on a minute, he's using that word at the same time he's reviewing a piece of equipment with that name, he's obviously not being racist, he's talking about a piece of machinery. So I don't think it was manually reviewed, but that, I think, like I say, I'm not going to say the word. Actually, what we'll do, let's I just honestly think it was, so again, let's go to, actually probably that company there. That's the word I used. And I think that's it, because out of all of the words that people thought potentially could have been, that's the only one when subtitled, it kind of blanked out. which is, you know, to put it down as repeated profanity, which it really wasn't. And seriously, you think a bit of common sense. Listen to the again. Somebody did say the problem is they don't review them in context. It will take a chunk out, and the person that reviews it just looks at that particular chunk. So it's taken completely out of context, and you just get that word. They're going to go, "Oh yeah, well that's outrageous." So yeah, I don't know. Frustrating, absolutely. Now the other thing I need to check on here is let's go into our wood chips. So we are going up 30,000 litres in storage already. Like I said, this will go up to 350,000 litres. Oh, the price at sawmills got up to 1,405. And if I have them in storage all year long, if I go through the winter and the price starts to dip back again, I can then always sell them at the biogas plant and get digestate as a byproduct. So I do have that option available. Whichever route I decide to, I'm glad I bought this actually. It's fairly heavy on the space it requires, if you know what I mean. But in all honesty, it's going to be worth its weight in gold, isn't it? And it's going to pay for itself in no time. And I do like the Kramer, and the Kramer does have its place, and I could have probably kept both, but I think because, like I say, the slot allowance on this is fairly high. I did think about getting a New Holland because we've got the New Holland dealership. That was another option, but again it was that, well, you know, this one does have the built-in, I mean it's an optional extra, but the built-in 3-point link, it just made sense. It's going to be very interesting to see how many piles of logs I get through to get to 350,000 litres, because I've got a funny feeling I've cut way more logs than I need, but I don't really want to build multiple buildings. I suppose I could do, couldn't I? If I clear a bit more land I could put another building down. I suppose at 15,000, you know, a decent load of these being sold will pay for the buildings in no time, so maybe next door to it I could stick another one and then have 700,000 litre capacity for storing wood chips. Again, it's preparation. You would do it for any other crop type. You'd put. Now I could have used silos. You know, there are plenty of silos that will take wood chips, but again, those are the multi-fruit ones. And you know, I know people aren't always happy about multi-fruit silos being used, and I've said that before. And people seem aghast that I would even suggest such a thing. But you know, as I keep saying, I do read all the comments. Don't always respond to all the comments. I try to like all of them, but I do read them all. And as you've probably found in the past, I do often fall foul to that, because I will often, you know, if one person tells me one thing, I'll take that as okay, fair enough. If a few people tell me something, then I think, okay, that's, you know, that seems to be a pretty strong consensus. But as I've also said before, you always get that divide of as many people tell you one thing, the same amount of people tell you the exact opposite. Who do you believe? You know, who do you go with? And that's when you end up doing testing yourself, or going, as has been suggested, thank you Smock Farmer, going directly to the horse's mouth. You know, I have got all of the information from Realismus for what I'm doing. I do have it all. I've got it all downloaded. I've got it printed off, and I've read through it a few times. The point I was making as well the other day about the water pump was not. I totally understand how to use the water pump, and I totally understand that it will stop your water running out. I think the issue is more, it checks every 15 minutes, I think it is, and then if it needs water, it will put water in automatically. That is all absolutely fine. Totally understand all that. I think it was more down to the fact that I was, like I say, reliably informed that what was I saying? Oh yeah, that it needed to be full to get maximum productivity. But again, the point was then raised, and a few people told me that, so it was that kind of, oh okay, now that's not anywhere in the information regarding any of this, but you think, well, you know, again, I hadn't done a lot of seasons. I did it on Sussex farms when it first came out, and you think, well, you know, you'll bow to the people that have been doing it more than I have, and you think, fair enough. But the flip side of that is you can remain at very high productivity as long as you've got stuff in the trough. It doesn't actually matter whether the trough's full, as long as you've got something in it. It doesn't matter if it's on green, whether it's on orange, or even if it's on yellow. or red, if there's stuff in the trough, they will be productive. It's only if it runs out, and why would the water be any different? And that's a fair point. It's not something that kind of crossed my mind. I kind of went with the consensus and thought, you know what? So yeah, it's a difficult... You know, I'm often accused of not listening to my subscribers and paying attention and doing what people say, and then I get accused of the opposite of, you know, why you listen to me. Again, it's that damned if you do it. It doesn't matter what you do, you know. And it always seems people will say to you, why you listen to these people, you should listen to me. But the argument is, well, why would I listen to you and not other people? Should their argument be the same? Why you listen to that person and not us? So, you know, it's always a difficult one. It's a balancing act, isn't it? You just kind of to do your best you can, and you know. But this is all working out absolutely brilliant. I was just thinking, if I clear this area first, and then if I do want to put a second building in, I can. It just makes more sense. I've got all this forest here, you know, this is going to be an ongoing process. This is something I can do. Am I going to do it all the time on every video? No, of course not. But this is going to be something that will happen in the background. This is something that is, like I said, it's going to help me with the farm side of things. If this helps me, and we all know, you know, equipment and stuff, and buying fields and farms and larger equipment gets expensive, you know. I need some way to generate money. Am I going to generate myself millions and millions and then negate the point for doing other work? No, of course not. But this is how I'm making money. I've done enough grind, you know, don't get me wrong, doing all the logging, doing all the lumber, doing the contracts, doing the cultivating jobs. I put the hours in. This is not a, you know, this hasn't been a quick kind of, oh, you know, he's 2 episodes in, he's already got 3 million. Not even slightly. I've been chugging along and loving it. Actually, what we're up to, I'm whittering away. Where are we? 89,854 litres. Let's bunch a few if I can. So take that one, is it? I'll take that one. There we go. That might fall out. There we go. I knew that would happen. Yeah, it's difficult. There are a few different log forks and log grabs that are available. There is one for the wheel loaders. Is it the double claw? I really like. I could also use, and a few people did mention this, the big bag handler that I use for doing pallets and stuff. You can use it for doing logs, and I think I did some logs on Mercury using one. The problem is I find if you get multiple logs in, it doesn't. The straps don't always like it. The straps start doing weird things and flinging logs all over the place. It all gets a little bit weird. Now there's that one there that seems to be. I've got to be careful. I don't get pulled into this because that will make a mess. Can I actually go hold that? Is it going to let me or not? It's just going to stick bouncing to the side. Come on. Okay, that's just disappeared. Right, oh no! Just realised the time, sorry. Because I was checking the menu again. I was looking and deciding what I was going to do and... Right, I wonder if I can pick it up per hand. It's not going to be too heavy, that one. Oh no, that'll go. Right, I'm going to see you in a minute because I'm going to do a little bit more of this. I know I've been rabbiting on. Apologies. I know some people love it, not everyone does, but this is working so well. Oh, this looks like we're going to get more rain again. We had a bit of blue sky for a little while. Boom. Some time has passed. It's now nearly 2:10. I have had a second building put in because it's become apparent. I honestly wasn't sure how much of what I had would equate to, you know, that didn't work so well, did it? Yeah, what it would equate to. So I know this is probably better off to use it as a scoop, but the problem I've got is if it gets too close to the fence, it gets caught up. That's not going to catch any of it. Oh, man, seriously, come on. please grab. Oh. This has been going on. You know what? I'm just going to push up against the fence. Yeah. So I don't think I've filled the first one up yet. Now this is all of the wood, the lumber from this side. I've got all the lumber over that side, so I know I'm going to at least fill one, so I'm going to need a second one. Plus, when we get to the point where we start selling it, and I'm actually going to sell one load now. The price at 1,408, it's going to go up higher than that, but if I sell one load now, that will cover the cost of all the leasing and, you know, the various different bits of machinery I've had. Won't necessarily cover the cost of the buildings yet, but they will get covered. This one costs a little bit more to build because we had the dip here. There's a bit more concrete needed here to get this level. But yeah, so we've got the second one. So we've got a total of 700,000 litres storage capacity. But I'm thinking as well, moving forward, if we do poplars, if over the course of this year we sell all the wood chips we've got, whilst that seems like a lot of money, like I said earlier, you buy a farm and a large tractor, or a farm and a harvester, or a, you know, awesome animals, or that's gone. You know, that will vanish in absolutely no time. So looking again ahead, if I am going to plant poplars, I've then got storage here for either wood chips from lumber or poplars, which means I can harvest the poplars any time during the year. Even if the price is really bad, I can still harvest them and put them in storage. So what I need to do is turn that off, engine off, and put the cover on, just for the time being because it's still raining. I will be doing the rest of them and putting them into here. At the moment we are up to 336,673 litres, so not quite 350,000. So all of the lumber that I had here from about here up has got me to that. What I've got over there will easily fill that and that one, and I'll probably have some lumber left over. That's why I thought if I sell a load now, it does free up a little bit more space again. Maybe I'll get all the lumber in. I mean, it doesn't matter if the lumber sits out in piles and it can sit there seasoning, doing whatever it wants to do, relaxing, right up until I'm ready to store it, wood chip it, do whatever. Now, am I going to buy one of these? I might do if this becomes something I do each year, but then in all honesty, what I get paid for the wood chips, if it's going to sit most of the year doing nothing and only be used seasonally, I might as well just lease it when I need it. It seems a bit daft buying one, I think. Well, yeah, I think. We're going to check the contracts again just to, you know, make sure. A couple of fertilising ones there, but I say there are some cultivating ones and there's still loads of baling ones. I'm assuming if I take those on, like I did with some of the contracts earlier in the year, they will just suddenly disappear. If you accept them, they then won't be available. Maybe. It'd be weird trying to do baling when there's no grass in the ground. There's a sowing one there. Yeah, so those cultivating ones, if I do some of those, that will then free up other jobs, but that'll probably wait till spring, I think. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, right, so what I'm going to do is grab a load, and then we need to do a bit of tidy up because I've got bits of equipment all over the place, and I'll need to decide what I'm going to do, whether I'm going to replace all of my front loader equipment. Actually, you know what, I think what I will do is get an adapter. Because I've got the front loader on this, it means I can use the front loader equipment. Then rather than duplicating having one set of front loader equipment, one set of telehandler equipment, if I just get an adapter, then I can use the MERLOT and then use all the front loader stuff. Although to be fair, the capacity on the front loader equipment doesn't go up as high as it does for telehandler gear, so potentially, oh, I don't know, we'll see. That, you know, there are lots of options available. So what I should be able to do now is I'm filling out with wood chips. That wood chipper likes to move about a bit, doesn't it? Right, 26,500. I won't invest in a larger trailer until we've got a larger tractor to pull it. And that said, I can't go too large. I won't go too large because the lanes, the roads just aren't big enough, and it doesn't warrant it, you know. Where am I going? This way. Yeah, all of this I've got here. That's easily going to fill up what I've just taken out, and the other one I think. So this will be another day where I think what I'll do is off camera I'll carry on with my wood chipping, probably on into the night, get all of that cleared, chipped and into storage, and then we're good. And if the price continues to climb, we'll wait for its peak and then we'll just sell a load, you know. It does mean if I really had to buy any feed or anything through the winter, I've got money to buy feed if I need to, but I think I've got enough. I've got enough on hand hay for the sheep. The pig food doesn't seem to be depleting, it seems to still be sitting there. And we'll keep chugging away, although we are going to get some new bursts of pigs fairly soon, I think. I could invest in some more sheep. Ready for spring maybe? Right, so let's do one load at least. Recover some of the money that I've been spending on all this equipment. That's not bad for one load. 37,775. And then, yeah, if the price continues to go up, great. You know, if we hit 1.5, higher than 1.5, then you know we've got plenty on hand to sell. And I'm looking forward to spring. Like I say, new machinery, probably by CJ Farm. That's still my plan. Is after the winter, if we can sell a load, is to buy CJ. 443 is a lot of money, isn't it? But that's what I'm intending. Because then in the spring that will give me all those fields as well. We can prep and get ready. I can move the sheep over into the sheep pasture, which frees up our grass field over here. The TMR we've got in storage. I suppose we could build another new storage over here and then start storing TMR here ready for cows. So everything will move around, it will just be a shuffling act. But we are, you know, when you think we started off with that little plot, where was it? Just by the pub, wasn't it? Yeah, it was just here by the lime station. We started off that tiny little plot. We had our house just up the road. We've got Pineview Farm. I'm going to keep the pig farm as well. Somebody did say to me, you should sell the pig farm and move everything over to CJ. But I want to keep the pigs going as well. But it's all moving in the right direction still, which is great. The weather's hammering me a little bit. Oh, I do need to check on the greenhouses. It looks like I've run out of... I don't think there's anything growing in them. I need to replenish water and manure in there as well, so I'll get onto that too. But there we go. So, next step, that looks so different now, doesn't it? But weirdly, the odd tree sitting there, you know. Weirdly, I missed one just over there, but those two that are there, they're not on my property. They're just outside the boundary and I can't cut them. So those two are going to sit there unless I buy that bit of property, cut them down, just for my own sanity. Because we've got these trees in the corner here which I don't think they're going to take a little bit of getting out maybe. And this will carry on. So yeah, the landscape is changing, the seasons are shifting, and according to the weather we could have snow tomorrow. So I want to get as much done as I can. Otherwise some of these logs are going to disappear under a blanket of snow. So if I can get that done. I did find a stump over there that I missed as well, so I'll get on with that too. Yeah, these two trees here, they're just outside my boundary, so I can't cut them down. Oh well, here's what it is. And then if I do fill those silos up, I'll probably stop where I am. If I don't quite, then I might cut a couple more of those down just to fill them to capacity. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I hope you're still enjoying the series. If you are, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, as always. Thanks for watching.